to her face?
Yes.
Were there multiple wounds to her face, including eyes, mouth, ears?
Yes.
Let's move down to the neck area. Did she have multiple wounds in her neck area?
Yes.
Gonna move further down. Did she have other injuries and wounds to the front of her chest, north of her belly button, between her belly button and her neck?
Yes.
Did the doctors discuss with you that the stab wounds to the front of the chest are likely the wounds that resulted in her death?
Yes.
And is that because they discussed that the wounds that were from the front, that those wounds cut off branches of the windpipe leading to her lungs, and that those wounds resulted in that much bleeding and her inability to breathe?
Yes.
Okay. Were there any other wounds to the front part of her body? Other areas of the front part of her body that had knife wounds?
Were you talking about the entire front or
So we talk face, neck, chest, north of the belly button.
Okay. Okay.
Any other wounds that you recall on the front of her body?
She had defensive wounds on her hands.
Okay, so then let's talk about the hands. So when you witnessed the autopsy and you, in conversation, doctor, you noticed wounds on her hands, both hands?
I believe so, yes.
Other than those, anything else in the front?
Not in the front. We're going to then categorize the back area and the legs, right?
Yes.
Okay. Nothing else in the front.
Okay, so for those general areas, I think that's sufficient for that.
Yeah.
So did you also, were you able to see the back of her body?
Yes.
I'm going to start from the bottom this time. Were there any wounds on her legs from the knees down?
Knees down, I don't remember any.
Okay. Do you remember any wounds on her knees, on her legs at all?
Yes.
Okay. What do you recall?
I remember 2 separate wounds that run along the inner thigh on each side of the leg and the general area of the femoral artery.
Okay, so 2 sharp force wounds on each upper side of the inside near the femoral.
Yes.
Other than that, were all the other wounds in the back of her body from, let's say, the lower back up to the head?
Lower, yes. She had on the other on her back. She had numerous stab wounds. Yes.
Okay, so we'll get to that. So, but is it fair to say that according to what you witnessed, that there was very little blood left in her chest cavity or internal cavities when the autopsy began?
Objection, Your Honor. He's not a medical examiner.
And that really doesn't go to the specific issues that I'm interested in here.
Not
Okay. And that was the infliction of the wounds, and as you offered, the type of strength necessary to do that.
Okay, yes, sir. So, were there numerous wounds in her back?
Yes.
Did you notice that those wounds went through skin?
Yes.
Did they go through muscle?
Yes.
Did they go through internal organs?
Yes.
Okay. Were there also other sharp force wounds to the back of her neck?
Yes.
And let's get to her head. Were there sharp force wounds in the back of her head?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. Did you witness the doctor remove a piece of metal from the back of Arena's skull?
Yes.
Okay. And did you witness the divot left in the back of her skull from that?
I saw when she removed it, and I impounded that little tip as evidence.
Okay. And you were just looking at State's Exhibit, thank you, State's Exhibit 10. Since we obviously don't have that piece of evidence with us, did it look like it was the size of the tip of the knife that's broken?
It was consistent.
Okay. 1 second, please. No further questions for Detective Velasquez.
Cross-examination. And what am I looking for? Our purposes in this now to have and vacate that
Oh, yes, sir.
podium so Mr. Real can work off of that podium.
You would like me to go over there, yeah?
Yes, ma'am, because of the microphone situation.
Not a problem, Judge. Good afternoon, Detective.
Good afternoon.
How are you, sir?
Good.
Help me with the pronunciation of your last name.
Elosegi.
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 Elosegi. Okay. Detective, how many years have you been a homicide detective?
21 years.
Okay. And how many interviews of this nature have you conducted?
Of this nature,
Yes.
homicide interviews,
Yes.
God, hundreds and hundreds.
At least 500?
I would say, at least a couple of hundred.
Okay. How many of 13-year-olds being investigated for first-degree murder?
This right here is my first 13-year-old.
Okay. And what was your understanding as to the purpose of your testimony this afternoon, or today, on today's day?
Objection to relevance.
Sorry, what was the question?
What was his understanding as to why he was called to testify today? Why did he understand that he had to testify? I don't understand how that's a problem.
Understand.
What did you do to prepare to be here this afternoon?
What I reviewed notes that I had. I reviewed body cam, and I have a lot of remembers of what happened.
Is this your own case you're working on?
Objection to relevance.
Where are we going, Mr. Real?
Judge, I'd like to know specifically if he's just relying on his memory, if he's talking about he looked at notes, what notes he's looked at, what did he do to prepare for his testimony?
I think he just told you. He reviewed some body-worn camera. What else did you review, officer?
I reviewed the body cam, the notes of my. You see, the reports are being memorialized, and we're still adding on to the reports, so they're not complete. Where I can bring a report to court here.
Do you have access to them by way of computer, though? As your people are compiling them?
Yes, yes,
Okay. Did you review your reports from your other officers?
yes, everything, yes,
All right. So you're the lead detective.
yes,
You're the repository of all of the reports and information of all of your officers.
yes.
Okay. This attorney wants to know what you reviewed before you came in today.
I reviewed, I read the supplements of other officers. I reviewed my supplement up to date and body cam and everything.
Do you know if what you reviewed the defense has?
Objection, Judge.
Let me ask this. I'll withdraw that question, Your Honor.
Okay.
What you reviewed, have you turned that over to the state attorney's office?
No, I have not.
Okay. How many times did you meet with the state attorney's office?
Well,
Judge, I'm going to continue to object to relevance.
One moment.
Yes, sir.
What's your next question?
What question did I just ask, or what was
Now, I tell you what, if you would like, I'll set this hearing for 6 months. You can take depositions, get all the reports, and be in a complete position. I'm expediting this process for the benefit of your client. Discovery in a case like this can take a year or 2.